Let us see if I can see without my glasses on. Oops. What's up, Mr. Browning? How's it going? What's up, Jim W. from Tampa? Good to see you. Got the first two in just a couple of seconds. Yeah, me too, bro. What's up, Harold? How's it going? Connecticut. How's the weather in Connecticut today? Making it pretty. How you doing, babe? Hey, James Peters. How's it going? All is well. 20 people in less than a minute. That's fabulous. Nice. What's up, Chris? How's it going? Back P, how's it going? Back Pie, Back P. I don't know how you say it. What's up, Randall? It's going pretty good, Harold. I'm out at work, so I'm in an undisclosed location. Silverdoe, how's it going? I'm not up to anything special. What's up, Seth? How's it going? What's up, Matthew? How's it going? Yes, Truck X is looking great. It's getting close to being delivered. We're hoping for a second week of October drop off and finally have that thing over to the owner who can enjoy it as much as I have been lately, and be nice to follow that journey. What's up, Chuck Prince? How's it going, brother? You guys know Chuck from a few of my videos, the Franny video especially. Chuck was in that with me. That was his little itty bitty half-ton Chevrolet that drug Franny out of the woods. No, Jim, I'm up in the fabulous city of Florence, Kentucky. No, Covington, Kentucky, right now. Oh, nice, Matthew. That's good. $33 people on, 17 of these. Let's get everybody to hit that little thumbs up icon. It's free for you and it does a little something for me. I'm not sure what, though. I will check it out, Matthew. When we're done with this live, I'll stop and check it out. Going good. How's the orange truck coming? Which one? The Ford? The F-350? Still sitting where it was when I started it. I did buy a portable fuel tank, fuel cell, whatever you want to call it. I just haven't been back over there to see if I can get it working off some good fuel. No, man, tie rods, huh? Nice. La-di-da. What's up, Jason? How's it going, brother? I guess we can get after it. Moncton, New Brunswick, huh? I talk to Moncton ATC all the time. Yep, the watch time is tough to get, brother. Best thing to do is do some 1 hour long videos, uh, and then just try and beg people to watch the whole thing. It's tough. It's tough. People get distracted easy. People don't have time to watch a whole hour, but 1 hour videos are pretty good for getting that watch time up. JP's doing good. That depends on if you mean JP, my friend, JP myself, or JP Jessica. We're all JP. But if you're referring to my buddy JP from the guy I bought the land from, he's doing good. How's it going, Tom? Yeah, lives get pretty good views as well. Yes, Kenneth, that is crystal, and it is for sale currently. I'm asking 35,000. Mechanically solid truck, just needs paint and body. It's got a good E model cat, 475, a 5EK. It's got a heavy haul 13 speed RTLO 18913. It's fresh. It's got bushings and all new spring bushings in the back and new wheels and tires, and mechanically it's a good truck. I got the HVAC unit out of it right now, but I had it all rebuilt by Shoreline. Just needs to be put back in, wired up, and get the AC and heat going. It's a good truck, could be a great truck. I just don't have time to keep it. But yeah, if you want to buy it, it's for sale. Yeah, oh yeah, I know you do, Matthew. I've watched your stuff. Now that it rings a bell, now that you just said that. Yeah, Black Betty's staying. Black Betty and Marla and Rhonda and Franny up until Seth buys it. I think Seth's going to buy Franny. We're just waiting for him to pull the trigger on that thing. I'm not going to do that truck, though. That's going to be his project truck. I can't do another one for somebody else right now. I got too much stuff going on. But hopefully Seth buys that truck. Hopefully Kenneth Thowell buys Crystal. That'd be sweet. Like to sell. Oh, I actually have a guy interested in Whitney. That would be cool. And yeah, I am keeping the record. What's up, Raymond? How's it going, brother? All right, let me start off by saying this shirt right here, this check engine light shirt, it's my favorite shirt. It's available on the merch site, and that's James. Let me type this in here for you. You don't have to be in capitals. You don't have to scream it, James. You guys go to jamespretty.shop and and Seth, just go to jamespretty.shop, pick you out one of these shirts. I'd like to sell about 15,000 of them tonight, but even if I sold one, that'd be pretty cool. Seth, she's just gonna have to sit in Franny and just see, smell, feel all of the history in that truck, and she'll be okay with it. Just tell her I said that it would be okay if you got it. Thanks, man. Yeah, we like Betty too. Betty really needs to get the hood worked on again, and I think I'm going to do it myself. Get those fenders and them headlights more level. It drives me nuts to see the headlights droop slightly, so I'm probably going to dig into that fiberglass myself. I learned a lot about fiberglass fixing Seth's hood when I broke it, and so I think I can apply that to Betty and get that thing firmed up and and looking spectacular. Oh yeah, that'd be a great truck. Kind of that thing's got a killer transmission in it. Matter of fact, Seth put the same transmission in X. It's a great transmission. What's up, Larry? What's up, tossed salad? Uh, so, anyways, James Pretty Dot Shop, get you one of these. Get you one of the new. I love it when my wife. Um, and there's a bunch of different shirts. Lets me drive her Kenworth. Lets me drive her Peterbilt. Lets me drive her Marmon. Lets me drive her Freightliner. It's all kind of cool stuff. Check it out. Yeah, I agree, Harold, and I can't wait till Betty gets some good looking paint on there. I think I saw the paint that I want to put on there. Just have to introduce it to Jessica. It's a black base with a gold metal, and it's really badass. And it's kind of similar. Betty's paint was like that originally, but it was a really fine kind of gold metallic. Where this one I'm talking about is a little bit bigger metal, so it's pretty cool. Oh, Jim, there's so many things to do as far as will it start. We've got what do we got coming right up? We got so I did a will it start on a little GMC pickup truck that's sitting at the house, at the new house, and I tried to do a will it start on a tractor, but it was like 1,000 degrees outside, and I was super grumpy, and the thing was just ticking me off. So it's not a great video, but I'm gonna stab that online as well. Um, we've got the excavator coming up. Um, we've got video on the new backhoe, Charlie the backhoe, Charlie Bucket, according to Jessica. That backhoe's name is Charlie Bucket, and so we'll have some video on Charlie Bucket. We've been that thing was kind of a basket case. The wiring was messed up. Couldn't start it with the key. Sometimes it would go forward and backwards. Sometimes it wasn't. It wouldn't. Every hydraulic line on it is in dire straits, and I think there's 11 cylinders on that, and 9 of them leak, and two of the 9 pour oil out. So we're going to be doing. I spent a couple hours and kind of half sorted the electrical, so you can start it with the key. It goes forward and backwards. Brakes work. That's good. Not sure the alternator's charging. Got to look at that. Needs exhaust. Needs hoses and cylinder repacks. And we got to get that thing done and get it out to the ranch because the pond is in dire straits, and I want to go through and pick out all of the sweet gum trees, and there's at least 5,000. So I need it over there. I need to get it going. So it's good that I have it. I got it cheap, and yeah, Adam, I know. But you know what? I don't make any money at all unless the ads play, and I have it on medium. Like I don't even have it on high. Uh, and I've never watched one of my own lives, so I don't know how often those are coming. But just kind of give me an idea how often the ads are happening, and then maybe for the next live, I'll see if I can turn it down a little bit if it's going too many times. What's up, Kevin? How's it going, brother? What's up, Sean? How's it going, brother? And so we got the excavator, which I have not filmed the will it start yet. The only thing I did to it was cut down some trees around it. You'll see that. Um, we got Charlie Bucket, which is the name of the new loader. That's a JCB 1400B. Pretty decent little backhoe. And then we got that Komatsu 65D, I think is what that is. What's up, Kyle? How's it going? And there's a long bed Ford like in the 70s, might be, I don't know what they called them back then, if it was an F-150, but it's like the F-150 size truck, and it's from the 70s. We'll get that. We'll get a look at that. Yeah, Larry, sorry, brother. I would like to meet you there too. What's up, Dave? How's it going? Kevin, we're trying to get that done right now. It's going to take us a couple months. We have got a lot to do. And the biggest thing is I don't have any more trailers. I've got to buy some semi trailers, at least two, excuse me, at least two more van trailers for the barn contents. And then I want to get a 28-foot for moving the house stuff. Yeah, it's Wiley's been doing a lot of stuff. I see that he's. It's nice to be retired and only have to do YouTube for a living. I'd love to do that. Um, Wiley's probably making as much money as my regular job just off YouTube. But Wiley's been doing YouTube for a long time, and him and Hank were very successful. So anyway, there's that. Needed some equipment, so you better get those will it starts and start moving some dirt. Yep, for sure, Jim. I do need some equipment. I got if I don't think I need the dozer, but I do want to play with it. I do need that big excavator, and I'm going to try and get that off JP. It's probably going to be expensive. And I need a farm tractor. I'm hoping that my buddy Seth has found me a near mint condition 966 International with a nice like 8-foot bush hog on the back. I keep waiting for it to just show up one day, but I don't know. But anyway, I do need a tractor and a bush hog. I need to get Charlie Bucket done. I need that excavator, and then I need a dump truck. There's one on the ranch. I'm going to try and get it off JP. It's Detroit diesel powered, and we're going to do a will start on that pretty soon. It's like a GMC. What was smaller than the Brigadier? What they call that? 9500 or something? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know where Tryon is. To be honest with you, Sean. And I haven't decided if we're gonna. I guess we will eventually disclose the location of the ranch because we're gonna have truck shows there. But I don't know where we are with that decision yet. So if you know where Bremen is, we're near Bremen, and that's right on I-20, which is super cool because to get to the ranch. When we do have a truck show, it's going to be super cool. You're just going to get on I-20, you're going to make a right, and you're going to stay on that road for about 15 minutes and make a left, and you're at my door. So that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Jim, it's tough to get anything from Tim because he's never home, and he's 3 hours from me, so that's a 6-hour round trip. So I'm thinking just buy some stuff locally. A few of them just need to be dry, and once I fill them up, they're going to stay filled up. And then I need one to move at least one to move the stuff that's going into the shop. And I also got to do some building on the shop first. And I want to do a video to kind of explain how the shop's built right now, and then tell you what the plan is. I'm not going to make it bigger. I'm just going to make it a little better. Oh, on the way to Somerville. So right now I'm about 35 minutes, 40 minutes from Somerville at the Cedar Townhouse. And no, I'm not going to GBETs. I got to work. I'm here at work until near the end of the month, so I'm going to miss GBETs. How's it going, David? The 69 van. So the 69 van was, Is that the one you're talking about? 69 Chevy van? If so, the plan for that was to put the 12V92 in it, do a mid-engine V drive, but I'm not sure if it'll ever happen. So likely what'll happen is I'll get a windshield for it. I think I bought windshield rubbers, but I don't remember. And then I got a message with a link or with a place that I can get windshield rubbers if I don't have them. And I'd like to get get the roof sealed up, to add a sunroof in it that they cut wrong, and put a windshield in it, and maybe cover the floor and keep the animals out of it. Right now it's a Wildcat Hotel. And I'll probably park it under the shed at the new house next to the Falcon and the Belvedere for a while anyways. Well, Sean, that's cool, and I appreciate that, but I don't borrow equipment. And let me tell you why I don't borrow equipment. I don't borrow equipment because then you end up breaking it and paying to fix somebody else's unit, and so I just don't want to do that. I think I'll buy something, and then when I break it or sink it in the pond or whatever is going to happen to it, at least it's my own. And when I pay to fix it, it'll be paying to fix my own rather than paying to fix somebody else's. But I do appreciate the gesture. What's up, Orlin? How's it going? Which 14 liter? Yeah, I have two. So I have one 14 liter that I got from Tim Gentry, and I have my original 14 liter that I bought from a scrapyard in Atlanta. And my 14 liter, if you go to Facebook and do at jamespretty.inc, you can see some little clips on the progress of my current 14 liter. Tim's 14 liter has the wrong pistons in it, and I need to get a kit, and the kit's like $3,400 right now, and I just don't have the spare cash. Excuse me. So Tim's motor is going to be a while. Jessica does product I don't know, marketing and photography. So that's what the studio is for. Yes, and for her resin stuff. Yeah, Jessica's got a lot of stuff that she does. Right now, she uses the office in my shop in Cedartown, and it's kind of a mix of her stuff and my dad's stuff. And I just haven't gotten over the attachment to my dad's things, so we're trying to make that happen during this move. No, Adam, we are selling the shop. We're selling the house in Cedartown. We have to do some repairs on the existing shop at the ranch, so I can move the stuff that's going to be inside the shop, mainly my tools and equipment. And once my tools and equipment are moved, then I'm just going to throw most of the stuff, the gems, the jewels, the garbage that covers my floor in my shop is just parts and stuff that I'm hoarding. I just don't have any room to warehouse them. So after I filled up all the pallet racking and all the shelving, then it started piling up on the floor, and that's why my shop is always a mess, because I don't want to put that stuff outside. But I don't have that kind of room at the farm or at the ranch. I get in trouble when I call it a farm, at the ranch. And so I'm going to put all of that stuff that's in the shop, all of my warehousing, hoarding stuff is going to go into semi trailers on shelves. And then I'm just going to load up, because I don't have room. I have 1 acre in Cedartown, so I don't have room for like 10 semi trailers, but I have 55 acres at the ranch. I'm going to have about 6 or 8 or 10 semi trailers that'll be all lined up, and then I'm going to space them apart so I could roof over the area in between, and then do, wet storage outside of the trailers, and then parts and stuff inside the trailers until I build my mega, when I become a super famous YouTuber and I'm making like $40,000 a month, then I'll build my super shop, and then I'll have a big ass warehouse, like a Walmart size shop. But I don't know if I'll live long enough for that. All right, Larry, appreciate you. Talk to you later. Yeah. So the Orland, the thing with that engine, because the engine is the same engine as my other one, it's a 6E. So it's a 6067 HK 6E, and the 6E is the EGR HK60 with the compact gear train. It's DDEC 4. It's like right on the button, and it's DDEC 4. Well, it has DDEC 4 pistons in it, but a DDEC 5 head and DDEC 5 injectors, which are N3 injectors. And so the N2 injectors, and I'm going to say this wrong, but the N2 injector, I think, has five spray nozzles in the end of the injector. And I think the N3 injector has 9 or 7, but it's a completely different spray pattern. If you look at diesel pistons, and this may be stuff you already know, so I'm not trying to say you don't know it. I'm just saying for people who are listening that the top of the piston, the shape of the crown on the piston, directly correlates with the spray pattern of the injector. And so if you have the wrong injector spray pattern on a piston, it will create hot spots. And that's what was happening with that engine, is it was just superheating the crown of the piston, and after it got hot enough, it would just blow a hole right through it. But anyways, that's not my interpretation. That's Detroit Diesel's interpretation. After talking to many people to try and figure out what's going on with it. All right, Harold, take it easy, brother. Appreciate you. I did look at mini excavators, and the reason why I settled for Charlie Bucket, the backhoe, there's several reasons actually. Number one, I'm planning on getting this great big excavator from JP. Number two, I only had a little bit of money to spend right now, and I needed kind of a do-all piece of equipment. So I was looking for a tractor that had a bucket and a PTO and also an attachment with a backhoe. But I wasn't able to find anything that I could score cheaply. So the reason why I went with the backhoe is because it has a bucket, a loader bucket, and a backhoe. So I could use the backhoe to fix the pond. I could use the backhoe to get all of the sweet gums. There's a 4-acre spot on the property that's got about 1,000 sweet gums that are between 5 and 12 feet tall. I got to dig all those out. If you cut off a sweet gum, it'll just regrow from the stump. So it's got to be dug out of there. And I didn't want to spend, $5,000 paying somebody to clear it when I could spend $5,000 and get myself a backhoe. So that's why I did that. The other reason I wanted a backhoe is because the loader bucket on the front, throw some forks on it, and now you got a forklift. And since I'm moving, having a forklift to unload the heavy stuff that's going in the shop makes a big difference. So that was why I went with that. Mini X, my son-in-law has a Mini X, and it's probably going to be at my house at some point in time. So I didn't want to spend anywhere from $25,000 to $60,000 to get one. Go big or go home, that's for sure. Right on, Raymond. Can't believe Heavy D Sparks is selling his big Oshkosh wrecker. It's hard for me to decide what he's doing. Uh, Eva, I, I I don't watch him enough. His stuff is kind of boring to me. It's not really boring. It's just long winded, and I don't have an hour to watch a rescue video. Same with what's that guy from Iowa or wherever, New Mexico, Wrecker Rick. I can't watch his stuff. I don't have time to sit through an adventure like that. Uh, so I don't really know. Dimple pistons. That's a technology that's from the '70s. It didn't work then. It doesn't work now. And it's ridiculous that they think that pistons are worth $10,000. So I'm not into that, Jim. Stout Terramite is a stout little machine, small backhoe. Yeah, I've never seen one of those. Yeah, Raymond. I think when we were driving around on the property, and there's some video coming out on that too, where I took the Hummer mud bogging, and the fields are really rough. And I think after I'm kind of on the fence if I'm gonna lease out the land to pasture and then put on some of my own cows with them, because I want to get into on some beef cattle before I can't afford any, but I just don't have time to manage it right now. So I may lease out the property um, for pasture and then throw four of my own cows on there, um, and just see how that goes. But I'm not 100% sure. But if I don't do that, um, I'm going to disc it in the spring. I'm going to disc all of the property. So I want to have um, all the trees out, and then I'm going to disc up and plow and field condition that whole thing because I want it smooth as glass. Because when we have the truck show, I've got this 10-acre area. It might be bigger than 10 acres, but I'm going to call it 10 acres, and it's flat and it's elevated so it doesn't get wet. And I want to, if I have fescue or some other grass there that I'm using for hay, I can mow that down, mow it and bale it, and then I can finish mow that into a nice looking lawn for the truck show. And then after the truck show, just leave it grow up and then um, harvest the hay off there. Or um, conversely, mow it all down and bale it, and then uh, put cows over there after it comes back up after the truck show. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. But I do want the fields to be smooth. Right now, you need the Hummer because the thing is just horrible. Nice, Adam. That's cool. How you liking it so far? Eva, I'd have a 1693. If I ever come across one, I'll probably get it just to have because they are pretty cool. Good nostalgia stuff. All right, Tom, take it easy, brother. We'll see you. One of the other things I want to talk to you guys about, the views are low lately. We kind of go. I know it's kind of getting towards the end of summer, and people are probably busy trying to get all their stuff done before crap weather comes. But we got to get those views pumped up. Um, Trying to get some more sponsorships for some parts for the Marla project, and we need to really get the channel shine a little bit. We've been kind of hovering around the same uh, views, even though we gained. I think in the last 2 years we gained maybe 30,000 subs, and my views really haven't gone up much. We're still getting 5, 6, 7,000 views. We really need to be in the 20,000 views per video. Even if the video is kind of boring, you got to watch it. Even if it's on a topic you guys don't like, you got to watch it. We got to get them pumped up a little bit. All right, Silverado. Yeah, Silverado. All right, brother. We'll see you. Have a good one. What's up, Darren? How's it going, brother? Nope, we haven't missed anything. We're just BSing, talking about upcoming will it starts and talking about people ask a couple of different questions on updates on equipment. We talked about Charlie Bucket, our new JCB backhoe that we're working on, and what we're planning to do with it. But other than that, nothing bone crushing. That's right. Love it. It used to be a thing, like every kid would want you to blow the horn. Now a lot of kids cover their ears when a truck goes by. World got a little soft, but it's cool that there's still some kids that enjoy that. Yeah, KTA'd be good. I keep my eye out for that. I'm trying to buy that. There's a 362 at the ranch. It's got a NTC 475, and I am trying to get that truck off JP because I even though the twin turbos are missing, um, it would be cool to just get that engine back together. Maybe do a compound turbo or something on it just to have. And a KTA would be cool. Someday I'll find it. Jeremy, the plan was to move Whitney this month, but with having the ranch, having to do some stuff at the ranch and going back and forth, excuse me, and then trying to finish X for Seth, and then acquiring the backhoe of Charlie Bucket. It just got pushed. I did the oil change. I need to get the tow bar working, and I need to change the wheel seals and clean or replace the brakes so that the thing will stop. It'll barely stop itself. I just can't imagine trying to stop Whitney behind it. But that was supposed to happen this month. If I do end up moving X to Seth's house next month, it won't happen next month either. So it'll be the following month by the time we see around to work. There's, I think horns underneath are cool too. But it is cool to see them big ones on the roof. All right, Mark, take it easy, brother. Nice, Sean. I got a little tennis elbow happening from pumping that yard sprayer. Man, wore my elbow out. Yeah, brakes are super important. I mean, it slows down, but it doesn't. There's no authority, and it doesn't have front brakes, so it only has brakes on the drives. And then when those, you lose all that braking action from the front wheels, and then you take away the braking action by having grease on the shoes. It's not good. Yeah, they don't sound the same. They sound real bad inside the truck. What's up, Kelly? How's it going, brother? Don't know if I said that or not. I saw you earlier and can't remember if I said hi or if I was talking yapping about something else. All right, so what can I do to get you guys to buy some merch? I need to sell if I could sell 100 shirts a month, that would be super cool. Right now, I think in the last 5 months, I think we sold 4 stickers day before yesterday. Merch just doesn't sell. If we could sell some merch and maybe get the views doubled, guy could maybe afford to get a tractor in a couple months. That'd be super cool. Huh. Got them a little hot, did you? Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes good sense, Will. The horns are definitely evolving into something that's kind of scary now. I didn't really think about that, but you're right. Oh, nice. You guys see what Kelly said about check engine light? Let's see. Do you take check for stuff or is it just card? I don't think there's any. So the way the merch store works is I have it's called print, Printful. And what happens is we create the designs, and then when somebody buys it, they buy it right from the company that prints them. So we don't have any inventory, so we can only do cards. I think cards or maybe PayPal. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask Jessica if there's a PayPal in there or not. Yeah, Sean, we were actually talking about that getting because Jessica wants something a little smaller than the Hummer for scooting around on the ranch. So we'll eventually end up with either probably a four wheeler with a pull behind sprayer uh, because pumping that thing, our backpack one is 3.5 gallons, and that's a lot of weight to carry. And then you got to pump that thing about, I'm guessing maybe 300, 400 times to empty it. So just in two full tanks, I hurt my elbow right here is in bad shape. I mean, enough that just touching it like that hurts. I'm not. I think they did both end up at the same company, but I'm not sure. Candy definitely has a different paint scheme than Dolores. That's right, David. Get him. It's showing on my screen. It's showing 64 thumbs up. So I think I get. I think it gives um, the channel uh, the actual data, and maybe it drags behind to get people excited about doing thumbs up. I'm not sure. Nice tennis elbow for sure, man. That shit hurts. Hate getting old. Hate it. Yeah, that'd be super cool. I actually looked at those. They're not too expensive, but it gets some of the field gets pretty muddy. Like I got close to being stuck in the Hummer a couple of times. It's super weird. Like you go down into the valley where the runoff feeds the lake, and it was dry there. And then it came out and drove up a hill, and then up on top of the hill it was soaked and deep black mud. And then you go down that slope through another dry ditch, and it was all dry from there. It's just super weird how the ground is. Which one is it, Darren? Is it something that flashes on my screen? Because sometimes they're like emojis, but it's auto generated. It's weird. Yamaha Rhino. So I was looking at little utility side by sides, not these big racy ones like these guys got with 1,000 horsepower or whatever, but um, I guess that there's some that have is it a Kubota motor, and they're non-rebuildable, and so you got to be careful when you're buying those things. If you buy one that has, there's a few different models that have the same engine, and you'll see them on there. It'll be like, oh, just engine needs rebuild or whatever. They're supposedly not rebuildable, and they don't have engines available. So you got to kind of be careful. But I would like to have one of those with a little dump bed and, you know, the canopy on the top and some doors, so Jessica don't run herself over. Oh yeah, yeah. That's sometimes it sees me and it doesn't do it, but sometimes it does it. I don't know. Yep, we still got Franny. I'm trying to get Seth to buy it. Uh, It'd be super cool. Hey Benjamin, how's it going? Day's going all right here. Yeah, I don't know what it was about Franny. I think Franny's just such a cool truck that even though I was kind of a goofball on there, and maybe that's why the channel isn't doing as good as it used to, because maybe I'm just too old and blah boring. Maybe I'm not having fun in my videos. Uh, you know, I had a lot of fun when I did Franny. It was a cool truck, and I was super excited. But then, you know, once I hit the 13 number on trucks, it got to be so much work that maybe I'm just sourpuss now. Maybe I need to, you know, relook at my life and find some joy in doing this. Kelly, you can buy that truck 15 grand. Come and get it. You might have to fight Seth over it, but I'd really like to sell that truck, and more so because the more I look at it, the more I want to do what I just did to X, and I don't have $35,000 or more to put in that truck. But it sure deserves it. It needs to be stretched out. It needs a sandblast and prime and paint on the frame, and it needs a engine and transmission and cooling pack all new, and it needs badass interior and a wicked ass paint job and a big ass polished aluminum wing on the roof and some big ass pipes. Man, that would be so badass. And it might get it. You just never know. That 14 liter that I got from Tim, if the way timing works, and, you know, just, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but you know how timing works. Like, you know, it's one day I'm farting around in the shop, and I have a little bit extra money, and I just call and order that high performance piston kit from PAI, you know, and it's like $3,500, and then I run that engine by the machine shop and get it done and decked and recounter board and throw that thing together, and pretty soon I got an engine sitting there, and Franny is just looking at me like, I got an engine bay right here. And then, you know, I might pull that old tired cat and that Super 10 out of there and get the sandblasting, and might take that body right off and get the sandblasting, and then chop that frame off and put me a nice knee way on there, or new way, whatever you want to call it. And you just never know. You just never know. Look at Jessica. She can see it happening. Nice. I agree, Kelly. Man, I'm telling you, it's just a great truck. Jessica knows how to work a sandblaster. Franny is a cool truck. You know what, in hindsight, I should have started with that truck. I should have just went all out and just knocked it out. And I'll tell you the reason why I didn't, because the suspension is so tired and old on that truck, and I was so afraid of doing a cutoff. Had I knew, listen to me, if I knew how easy it was to cut off a truck, every one of my trucks would have 350-inch wheelbase. because it's simple to do. It's totally simple to do it. It's not that much money. I mean, I think I have 10 grand in stretching Betty, and I paid a lot for the frame. And there's tons of frames out there that I could have got for a third of what I paid for that. But I wanted something. I wanted exactly what I got, and so, I didn't shop around enough. I could have done that. When I got 10 grand in, I probably could have done it for 5 easy. And the job itself was super simple. You see all these extravagant cuts and different shapes and stuff people do to frames, whatever turns you on. But all you need is a straight whack, um, and a liner, and you're good. And if you're going to put a load on a truck anyways, double the frame up. Crazy. So YouTube is awesome. That's a great question. Dry ice blasting machine. I actually had a Chinese company approach me, or did I approach them? Either way, we had a nice one picked out, but they wouldn't just give it to me. They wanted me to pay like a third of the price. It was like $1,500 my cost. I just didn't have the money to spend on a tool that week, so I just didn't do it. But I would like to have one. I did try really hard to get them to just give me the thing free. But that negotiation's not over yet. I'm so far behind on sponsor stuff. I have to get X delivered this next month because I've got a ton of stuff to do. I got that air conditioning, that electric air conditioning thing to go in Rhonda. So I partnered with a company that does the RV air conditioners, and I partnered with a company that does those great big expensive badass lithium batteries. And so I have all that stuff. I just have to put it in. Yeah. I'd like to get a Max Superliner with the E9 in it. That'd be super cool. Sean, you're absolutely right. I wish that I could get Forestate or somebody to start throwing some money at my trucks. I don't understand. I don't understand how some guys who have like virtually no YouTube subscribers and no like history and have like one old truck and like Forestate's throwing a bunch of stuff at them. And I feel like my 12 million lifetime views and my 70,000, 75,000 subscribers, I should be getting hooked up, but I'm not. And I don't know why. I think most of it is the views are down. The views are down. I actually had one company tell me that I don't have the views for the number of subscribers that I have, and it's true. When I had half as many subscribers, my views were 10 times, 5 times more than they are now. And so double your subscribers, it should be 5 times the views from then. And I should be doing, I should be in the $40,000-$50,000 or 50,000 views per video. And I'm still in the 5, 7, 9, 11,000 views. And I know it's my fault. I need to have better stuff, but it's tough when I got stuck in that loop of having too many trucks and having to do the same jobs over and over. It gets boring, and I get it. So that's why I've been trying to do some more will it starts and different kinds of equipment and more exciting things like Betty. We spent a lot of money and a lot of time on Betty, and it really didn't pay off good as far as views went. But I think Betty is a long-term views truck, which is cool. And the same with Marla. I spent a lot of money on Marla to get it to where it is now, and I'm spending more than I already spent on it to do this engine, transmission, and cooling pack and exhaust and frame stretch and new suspension and everything else. So I'm really hoping that pays off a little bit, maybe with having Marla completely done, and hooked up to a trailer and doing some stuff. I'm hoping that, hoping that we're getting somewhere with it. That'd be super cool. Cause I really don't have the money to spend. But I started the project. I started buying stuff for the motor and stuff, before we got word that we could buy the ranch. So like I was already involved in Marla, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you. And so like I put myself in a weird money spot. So I have to catch up a little bit, and it'd be cool if we get some merch set up and step up the views and start getting some more sponsors. I got quite a few sponsors on the Marla stuff. Like it's been nice. We just got to keep that ball rolling, see if we can get that done. And maybe we could get, maybe sometime we could do Franny. It's funny to say that, Sean, because I have the headlights already, and I think I have an aluminum hood. Yeah, White Snake, you could be right. I mean, once a channel gets into the like 150,000 subscribers, and they're getting 30, 40, 50 views or 50,000 views per video, people start really pushing to share. I mean, if you look at Steve Fazcheck, his channel is kicking ass right now. I wish I had the views that guy makes. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Dane's pretty cool. Yeah, Dane's pretty cool. He's got some pretty decent sponsors. What's up, Chad Keegan in the house, brother? Chad Keegan in the house. Everybody say hello to Chad Keegan. Yeah, that's what I said. Once I'm getting more, I'm trying to do one or two will it starts and equipment introduction videos per month, plus the ranch stuff. We trying to put the ranch stuff on its own channel. We're trying to keep trucks and will it starts on this channel. And then we're going to incorporate some shooting too. I don't know if you guys are into firearms, but I have a pretty good collection of firearms, and we used to be, me and Jessica both were, uh, pretty consistently shooting, and that's not necessarily a super popular thing on the internet sometimes, but we, now that we have property, we're gonna have a nice shooting range and start incorporating a little bit of that in the ranch as well. Oh, I'm so far behind. Let me read for a second. Maybe we can get Chad to come down and paint Trisha. Chad needs to come down and paint Trisha. Get that body work done. It's Seth. Darren, it's Seth. Seth is getting next. Okay. What's up, John? How's it going, brother? What's up, Billy? What's up, Gil? Yeah, that's for sure. Full-time job does get in the way. Me and Wayno talk about collabs. He's just so far away, and he has his own life. Like I've tried to get some sort of cooperations going back and forth. It's just tough. He's got a lot going on. Uh, it is what it is. We're friends. We talk all the time. I think we talk at least once every week. Great guy, great channel. His channel's doing really well too. He had a streak of really good truck videos, and it like brought a lot of interest, and he's carrying it on with all of his normal videos, and it's pretty cool. I don't know, man. I've tried all over the spectrum, bro, as far as length of videos. 15-minute videos don't pay. There's a fine line. I guess if 100,000 people watch your 15-minute video and only 10,000 people watch your half-hour video, the 15-minute video would be better. But if you look at successful channels, Cletus, Whistle and Diesel Creek, those guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and some of them are making a lot more than that, and they're 45 minutes. You're right. They do have a short attention span, but if your content is good, this was one thing Diesel Creek said to me that I took offense to, but he's absolutely right. If your stuff is interesting, people will watch it all the way through. And he's right. Let me see. You should get the cake tub grease off truck frames and fifth wheels by spraying WD-40 out of spray bottles on it. Let it sit for a few hours. It falls off. Huh, interesting. I love WD-40. Let's see. Firearms, yep. Thanks, David. I appreciate you. All right, Randall, we'll talk to you, brother. Sean, I say that all the time. Like, I enjoy watching Chad's channel. I expected him to already surpass me. I don't have the keys to wisdom when it comes to that. It blows my mind. Night, Chad. Take it easy, brother. Thanks, Billy. I appreciate that. So I'm in talks with Radiator Supply House, and actually, I think Wayne helped a bunch with that because I reached out to him, and they may be doing something for me on the cooling pack for Marla. I didn't really want to say anything about it until we had it figured out, but we were talking. Those guys are super cool. They have their own channel. I shared it on my Facebook just day before yesterday. Will it start that they did, and I'd like for you guys to, you guys can help me out a lot by going and watching their videos and mentioning that you heard about them from me, and that'd be super cool. But I'm trying to give me like 15 seconds. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute. What's up, Mark? Okay, so you guys go to, let me see if I can get the link. So their channel is Icebox Performance. Let me put that in there. ICEBOXPR4MANC. So if you go to YouTube and you search for Icebox Performance, yeah, the @ Icebox Performance, all one word, and check out their stuff. That's playing in the background. Hold on, let me fix it. So go to YouTube, youtube.com/ Jessica, write this in there, youtube.com/ @Icebox Performance. Is that what I said? I think that's what I said. At Icebox Performance, yeah. And go and sub and watch their Will It Start videos. They're just getting into it. Be nice. Check them out. Tell them that James Pretty sent you. It'd be super cool. I'm just going to say it'd be super cool if you guys would do that for me. Let's see. Chad Keegan was the first YouTuber that I met. Want to say that that it might be true for me as well. Me and Chad were friends for a long time on the internet before he came to do Marla, um, and we've been brothers ever since. Yeah, Seth, them cards are hot, ain't they? Man. Let's see. White Western Star from Maximum Overdrive. Not very many of those around. Yeah, that's true. I love Western Stars. I wish I'd have got that Western Star from my spot. Somebody should buy that thing. $14,000. Nice truck. It's not perfect. It needs work. Excuse me. I happen to have a very hot card as well. Myself. My American Express is hot. Hot. Too hot to touch right now with Marla parts on it. Whew. I would say that it's as hot as one of Seth's for sure. How's it going, Tom? How you doing, brother? Which pickup? F-350, the orange one. Man, that's a nice truck. Hey, which one of you guys wants to buy that dump truck? That dump truck I did the Willet start on, the red one at Ford. JP'd like to sell that. You guys, one of you guys want that thing? It'd be super cool if one of my subs bought it. Hour and 7 minutes. We get on talking. What can we talk about now? Let me see. Let me see. Do I got anything on here I can sneak peek you guys? Let me just see if I can. Yeah, that happens, Darren. I've been there, brother. Seth, you still on here? What's up, Jeffrey? How's it going? What, Raymond, you want to buy that dump truck? That'd be cool. Dude, is that a Fruhoff? There's a stainless trailer at one of my spots. I tried to get off the guy, but it's full of old used tires. And we just couldn't I think there's like 115 or 120 old tires in it. And we just couldn't come up with a deal. I wanted to trade him getting rid of the tires for him for the trailer, and he he wasn't all about that. But there's a chance that I might end. I think it is a Fruhoff. It's stainless, pretty cool trailer. How much for Marla? 65,000 a day, or as close to that number as you could get. Might persuade me to stop. Might persuade me to stop the big engine swap that I was going to do to it. But so Seth, can I show him the picture, the lighted up picture I sent you? There's only 64 people on. Okay. Say yes or no right now. Oh, you got to wait 20 seconds because they got the 20-second bug on there. For the F1, that dump truck, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he'd want for it. It runs though. I'm just waiting for the 20-second timer to click by so Seth can tell me if I can show you this picture. But I did some work to Seth's truck right before I came out to work. Just waiting. Man, 20 seconds seems like an eternity. Didn't he say yes that he was here and not yes that I could show the picture? So I'm kind of stuck. Did he say yes once or did he say yes twice? I think he just said yes. Yeah, I think it was just yes, he's here. But there's a timer, but it's been more than 20 seconds. Oh yes, that's what it's all about. I still don't know if that means I'm just going to show it to you. He's either going to be okay with it or not. So, you know that Seth's truck has this custom bumper that he ordered, and they screwed it all up from what he ordered, but it's still a badass bumper. And in the bumper has some lights and some other stuff on it, and I have that bumper lit up. I'm going to show it to you right now. You guys ready? Dun, 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 dun. What do you think of that? Does that thing look badass or what? Just look at it, man. Now don't laugh at me about that center roof light being out. I swear to God, that thing was lit up before I took the picture. I tried to get these chicken lights done before, but it was just the bumper was being a real pain, and I had to run. Some. So I don't like just hook up a ground to the frame and then run a hot wire from a toggle switch out to lights. I don't like to do that. So when I do lights, I run a positive, a negative, and a switch wire in a harness out to the point where the wires come together, and I mount a relay, and then the switch. I use a ground switch that just grounds the coil on the relay, and then the relay powers lights so that you're protected. And excuse me. And the power line going out there comes off a circuit breaker in the truck. I don't like to half-ass electrical because I'm not good at it. So I like to make sure that it's right. So it just took me a long time when me and Jessica had to run wires from the switch and from the circuit center out through the main wiring harness, and then loomed it all up and zipped it to the regular wiring harness and out through the hood. And it's just a pain in the ass. So we spent the better part of the day just doing that and then getting the lights hooked up. So anyways, that's it. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Super cool looking. And we're gonna tie in through the same sort of electrical connection. We're gonna tie into that switch for the chicken lights around the stainless. And Seth bought a handful of replacement lights, and we're gonna use those old school lights and just fix up the ones that don't work and make sure that they're all on. And then the only other thing I'm going to do on the back of the cab, I got to do the crossbars between the exhaust pipes. I keep forgetting I have them, just have to do them. But on the back of the cab or the back of the sleeper, some work lights, and they're in dire straits. So we're going to take those off. And I don't think I'm going to rewire in some new ones because that requires getting into the interior, and I don't have time to do it. We got to get that truck delivered. So yeah, it's super cool. I wanted to have those chicken lights done. We just ran out of time. Did I show you guys the tail lights? I got the tail lights wired up in there as well. Let me get this thing open up a little bit so you can get your eyes on it, up on it, like Chad says. What do you think of them tail lights? Thing looks pretty cool, right? Just look at it, man. Looks so good. Doesn't that look good? Yeah. Oh, it already is, Sean. I got mixed emotions about that truck because number one, I loved it. I've loved it since I first laid eyes on it. How's it going, Keith? But as I got into having 13 trucks, I didn't have the money to do full on restoration. So then I wasn't going to do those. And then the channel wasn't doing well. And so then I was like, I think people are tired of me bouncing all over the place. So we're just going to focus on one truck. And then we did like a 6-month long deal on Jessica's truck on Black Betty, and it didn't seem to help the channel much. And then um, I was kind of bummed out and was talking shit like I do sometimes, and said I'd sell that truck. And Seth reached out and was like, "Okay, I'll buy that truck for that." And I was kind of like, "Oh, guess I shouldn't have said that." And so we did the deal on there, and then I opened my big fat mouth and was like, for a little bit of money, I'll make that truck roadworthy for you. I don't know why I said that, but it's been fun because it was nice. It was nice to do the work on the truck while somebody else paid the bill. Um, but that truck is so damn sexy. Like it right now, other than the tanks being polished, and like, believe me, if I had time to do it, I would at least do a half-ass polish job on them. But aside from the tanks not being polished, that truck is just gorgeous. Uh, Gorgeous. And I have never seen those seats in that truck. After, I had those seats redone. They were ripped and black, just black as could be, and dirty, nasty, and flat. The foam was all out of them, and I think like some cats had given birth to a stray dog in there. And the seats in that truck are some cool, crazy, overstuffed velour, badass seats, right? And so I was like, oh man, these seats look like they'd be so cool. I wish that I could get them fixed. And I was talking to my buddy who does upholstery, and he's like, "Oh, I could fix those seats up, no problem." And I'm like, "Dude, are you sure?" And he's like, "Oh, most of this will come right out." And it looked like the material was just rubbed off. It was so disgusting, full of grease. He took those seats over to his shop and he steam cleaned them and restuffed them, and they look amazing. Like they're literally amazing. And so then they sat in the shop for I think almost 2 years uh, with trash bags on them, and they still have the trash bags. I put them in the truck, and they still have big black trash bags on them. So I still haven't seen them. And the first time I'm going to see them is when me and Jessica get in that thing to drive it out to Seth's, and it's amazing. I wish I could have got the carpet done. Uh, at one point in time, my upholstery guy was going to come over and put some big thick, because some of that interior is purple. It's not really purple. It's red, but it's kind of like a purpley red, royal maroon maybe. And so I was going to put this big thick ass uh, 70s disco shag carpet in there, and he ordered it, but when he went over to install it, it wasn't the right stuff. Excuse me, dying over here. It wasn't the right stuff, so we didn't do it. But I really wish we would have, because then we'd be partying then that thing on the way over to South. Excuse me. Let me see where we're at. What's up, Adam? How's it going, brother? Adam Theed and Janowski. Appreciate you. Oh, did you know something weird? Did you know that Franny's hood is not broken anywhere? Is that the strangest thing in the world? Like I was just looking at it day before yesterday because I flipped it open so that I could compare some wiring, and the trucks are just too far apart age-wise to have the right stuff in it. Because they had some wiring issues on the light bar. Anyways, and while I had the hood open, I said to Jessica, I was like, Franny's hood doesn't have any broken damage anywhere on it. It's like perfect. I can't even believe it. But that's crazy. Yeah, it would be cool to put some trucks to work. Marla will definitely be a work truck when it's finished. I only have 9 years left at my job, and that's if the economy stays and the company stays together. I'm 9 years I have to mandatory retire, and I actually would like to retire at 62, which is 6 years, 6.5 years. 6.5 years. So I want to have Marla all finished and ready to rock and roll and have a few trailers because it's going to be my retirement gig. But anyway, let's see. Thanks, Raymond. I appreciate you. You know what? Sterling trucks are okay. It's kind of like it seems like Sterling was like trying to be something and then it kind of, they faded away a little bit, but I don't have a problem with Sterlings. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Kelly. I actually talked to him. I was like, I own one of your trucks. And he was like, what? I'm like, I have one of your trucks. I whipped out a picture of X and was like, this is one of your trucks. He's like, oh man, that was my truck. Pretty cool to meet the guy. Kelly. It just depends. You know what? I've tried to find like a correlation between engines and mounts, and I think that pretty much companies use whatever they have laying there when they're putting the engine together, and they just mix and match engine mounts. Like I'm 50% sure that the front mount in Marla, being an 8V92, is the same exact front mount as the 60 series. And I'm 100% sure that I've never seen rear mounts like are on this 14 liter. So I did buy the front cross member and the frame mounts off of the truck, the donor truck out of the 14 liter I bought. But to answer your question, I have no idea. Jonathan, I don't know. Yeah, nice. I remember talking to you about that on the phone. Seth was just saying about local guy who's going to come and polish up the tanks. Yeah, I have the headlights. I have the headlights off of an aluminum hood FLC. Um, I have them in stock. They are ready to go on. And actually, the grill on Franny is not for that hood. That grill is for the aluminum hood, and somebody just had it like stuck on there, and then I took it all off and reinstalled it because it was all bent up, and I straightened it best I could, but it looks pretty good. Uh, but yeah, I think you're right. Aluminum hood would be nice. Oop, I missed something here. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought Sterling was Ford, but I didn't say it because I wasn't 100% sure. See you later, Christine. Or is Jessica leaving? Oh, all right. See you, babe. I thought Christine was leaving. I missed that. Right on, Rick. We will. Yeah, Marla's getting listen, let's talk about this for a second. So many people say 1,000 horsepower. It's super, super hard to put 1,000 horsepower at the wheels on a big diesel engine. There's a lot of people that talk a bunch of shit about having 1,000 horsepower, and 1,000 horsepower ain't just sticking a tune on a motor. And so I am going to have 1,000 horsepower engine in Marla, and we're going to show it. We're going to, once it's built and I break it in, it's going up to Bell Performance, and hopefully Tim shows up. We're bringing Rooster, and we're going to put the smack down. Tim's going to probably hurt that thing to show me that it'll make more power than mine, but we're going to put that stuff on the dyno. We also invited Wayno, when he rode in bed, he's like, I think Mossy makes more power than this. And no way in hell does that truck make near the power that Betty makes. But we're gonna try and bring Betty up and Marla up, and hopefully Wayno comes in Mossy, because it'd be super cool. Even if he does beat me, it'd be super cool. And the same with Tim. Even if Rooster makes more power than me, I don't care. I'm spending an ass ton of money on Marla's engine and Marla's turbo alone. I don't want to talk about it, but Marla's turbo is badass, and it is not a off the shelf turbo like a lot of people put on. We're talking about top of the line stuff. We got we have a stainless steel, not a cast iron, coated cast iron. We have a stainless steel exhaust manifold. We got some of the baddest ass things, and we got $1,400 head bolts from Extreme Studs. We have a ton of super hot, badass pieces going in this motor. Now, it might blow up right on the dyno. I don't know, but it's gonna be amazing. And so I wanted to already have it done. Listen, I took that motor. I spent the money, got that motor delivered, and pushed to get it apart in a timely manner. And then it went to the machine shop, and it just sat there almost 90 days. And it is not finished at the machine shop. Now, it wasn't first in line. It wasn't like he said, yeah, I'll get it done to you this weekend. I pushed to get it in line so that it'd be done in a timely manner. And, machine shops are busy. So there's some clips. They're these 14 liters, the way the counter bore works, that's a weak spot and they crack. And so the counter bores are cracked. And what you do to fix that is you overbore the counter bore, and then you put a nice pressed in, hardened sleeve in there, and then you deck the block square, and then you go into the hole and you recounter bore it to the factory spec. And so that's getting done right now. It's expensive, but it's getting done right now. And I think the head is done. He did some stuff to the head. We got a big, nasty marine cam. We're not talking about, I put this cam in it. This is the 14 liter, 825 horsepower factory camshaft. Some gnarly head bolts we already talked about. It's got badass high performance coated pistons. We even have our sleeves are coated on the outside diameter of the liners to keep from pitting. It's a high performance from PAI. You can go on to their website and check it out. They're coated. The skirts are coated. The crowns are coated. The outside of the sleeves are coated. We got all the goodies going in there. We got a badass turbo that I'm going to tell you about until you see it. And so there's a problem with the turbo, right? Because we're going to put like a 575 horse HK 60 tune on it. Oh, we got the baddest ass N2 injectors, 7014s. Look them up. These things are like dumping 5-gallon buckets of fuel in the cylinders. It's badass. But anyways, we're only going to have a 575 horsepower tune on it. So we may have trouble spooling the turbo for the break-in. To tell you something about PAI stuff is their cylinders are really, really hard. And there's people out there that have like a bunch of money in their 60 series, and the thing's got blow by like an old 2 million miler because they can't get the rings to seat. So when you break in a new motor, you got to get that puppy loaded up. And so what the plan is, as soon as Marla is finished, that I'm going to go over the road with Tim Gentry, and we're going to do a West Coast and back heavy haul and break that thing in. So we'll see how that goes. That's, tentatively the plan. But first things first, got to get the engine done. We got to get that radiator deal closed with Radiator Supply House, Icebox. Everybody go to their YouTube and watch their videos and say some nice stuff about them. And keep in mind, they're new. Their videos are going to evolve into some really cool stuff. Those guys are excited about doing it. And let them know that I sent you. We got to get that cooling pack, get that thing installed. We're going to clean and paint the frame while we're in there, and under the cab, get that thing all sparkle buggy. I still need a transmission. I'm trying to find a transmission sponsor. It's pretty tough to get somebody to give you a $15,000 transmission. So we're still trying to get that, but let's keep our fingers crossed we can find it. But hopefully it'll probably be spring, because Wayno doesn't take his truck out in the salt, and I don't really want Marla up in the salt. And now that Tim's reframed Rooster, he probably won't want to go out in the salt just to play either. So it'll probably be spring, but we got a lot to do between now and then. I kind of went off on a tangent there. Sorry. Oh, that makes sense. Oops. Quick time here. Oh boy, sorry. I am so far behind. I need to do quick reading. You're welcome, David. Jeez, I'm so far behind. 3408, 750, and would burn the right rear tires off. I had to be turned down. Yeah, I hear those are pretty bad. I've never experienced one. Like to do it. "2021, saw a show truck with 900 horsepower." Yep, there's some out there. There's this dude down. Maybe he's up in the East Coast. Got a red Freightliner, and it's supposed to be 1,000 horsepower, and I've seen that thing smoking hides. I don't know, Kelly. I'm still trying to figure that out. Is the Volvo engine a Series 60 or what? I mean, that thing looks exactly like a Series 60. So I'm confused. Is it a 15-liter version of the Series 60? Even the valve cover kind of looks like one. I don't know nothing about it. But I don't know. I don't have any experience with that thing, but if that thing makes 700 horsepower, I'd be surprised. Nope. Marla is getting its own deal. I have heard about that 102. It's going to get, listen, it's going to get is it an 84 millimeter? Give me 10 seconds to look at a text message, and I'll tell you how big the turbo is. Now, listen, 100 millimeter turbo, you're going to be like, that's like for a pulling truck or something that's spinning 4,000 RPMs. 4,000 RPMs on a street truck is just waiting to window the block. Those guys in the pulling trucks and the race trucks, they'll spin 4,000 RPMs, but they only got to race like 3 times, and then the thing gets all tore apart and rebuilt. The Marla is a street truck, so we're not going to turn it up to 4,000. A lot of RPMs. This thing's probably going to be more in the less than 3,000 RPM segment. Yeah. Man, I want to tell you about this turbo so bad. So this turbo has a billet center section. You guys know much about turbos? This has a billet center. It's an all-out race turbo. This is a billet center section, racy thing. It is a lightweight billet center section. What else can I say before you guys will figure it out? It is 84 millimeter, 88 millimeters. I can't tell you anything else because it'll give it away. But let's just say it's a race turbocharger, has a billet center section, it's 88 millimeters, and it has a special wheel. And we'll leave it at that. And it's expensive. I see some stuff in them comments. Everything but your wallet is coded, that's for sure. Jim thinks that Rooster's gonna do some stuff. Let me tell you what. Let me talk to you about that for a minute. Those Caterpillar engines are big, and yeah, they do make a bunch of steam. They do. And Tim's not afraid to have shit turn up beyond recognition. So it could very well happen. The only thing that Tim couldn't build that could beat anything of mine was that Mustang. He had that thing built like 5 times and finally just scrapped it because he knew he could never come close. But Rooster might surprise me. But I'm telling you, I'm spending as much money on this motor as I could have probably spent on a C18 and been money ahead. But the reason why I didn't put a cat in Marla is because Marla from the factory was born with Detroit badges. And so even though I am taking the 8V92 out of it, it's going to have Detroit in it because it has Detroit badges on it, and is going to be one badass Aerodyne with 14-liter Detroit. So that's it. Yeah, and especially with PAI stuff, because their liners are hard. Their liners are super hard. Rear end gears. What gears are in that thing, man? I wish Chad was still on. He'd remember. It's got 411s in it. I think it's got 411s in it. But it's not going to have. It's not going to have that 8-bag on it. That truck's going to get a mild stretch, and a drop axle, tag axle, what do you want to call it, and it's going to get a modern suspension. If I put an 8-bag on there, it'd be that AG 800 or whatever, the super heavy duty 8-bag. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I really should put New Way suspension on it because it works better in racing and in pulling. So I don't know. How come it looks so much? So did they steal the 60 series design or something? Why does it look so much like a 60 series? He's even standing next to him. They got a couple on the floor at my big recycler that I go to, and I was like, man, is that Detroit? And I was like, Volvo. I mean, it looks a lot like it. So there's all kinds of stuff. Like turbos there's a science behind turbos. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about turbos. I know if you put a small exhaust housing on it, the thing spools fast, but it will over RPM the turbo and it will blow up. If you put too big of a wheel on there and too big of a housing on there, then it takes forever to spool. Some people don't like wastegated exhaust housings, but a wastegate exhaust housing, you put a smaller, tighter exhaust housing on and then blow it off to keep the turbo from overspinning, over RPMing. So I don't know anything about turbos, but neither do a lot of people who sell turbos. And I won't throw names out there because I'm not that guy, but there's a lot of guys on the internet that are making their own turbos and selling turbos, and they really don't, maybe don't understand a lot about it. Most people are like, oh, I'm getting rid of that junk ass wastegated housing. Wastegated housing is great. If you want to put a big ass turbo on that makes a bunch of steam, but you still want it to spool without having to turn the fuel up so far that you're just, throwing money out the exhaust pipe. You got to have a smaller housing, get that big turbo to spool up, and then you got to be able to blow that pressure out of that exhaust housing, keep that turbo from overspinning and exploding that billet wheel. But I don't know anything about turbos. So this turbo that I've got coming, the person who builds this turbo does that for a living. Like, he's one of the smartest dudes out there on turbos, and he backs it up with his own race cars. So anyhow, we'll get more into that once that turbo is delivered. I'll let you know everything there is to know about that turbo. What's up, James? How's it going, brother? Nevada, huh? Nice. What's weather like up there? Let's see. Look up bulk loads. Mike Cortez, Peterbilt, C18. Yeah, C18 is a bad bitch. Right from the factory, it's badass. I don't know what they're doing to spin that big stroke and keep it alive, but it's got a badass crankshaft. Yeah, Iba, Rhonda and Wayno's trucks are the same. Of course, this is Detroit powered. I wish mine would have been, but that crappy old small cam Cummins. That truck, I was so excited because I saw that truck and I didn't buy it and I didn't go see it. And then I decided, oh my God, this thing could have a V12 in it or something. I got to buy it. So I called and bought it over the phone. And I asked what motor was in it. And the guy was like, I don't know. It's a big one though. And I was like, oh, super excited. And then I was going out to work and I was gone for like 2 weeks. And I came home and then it was just small cam Cummins. So I was pretty disappointed in that. But who knows what that thing will end up with. Maybe an NTC 475. A guy just never knows what engine's going to end up in old Rhonda. Yeah, Bill, you might just know. It might just be from near your area. You just never know. Yeah, Marlo's going to do heavy haul. Yeah, there's money in that. An old guy can't be out there trying to chase that paper. An old guy's got to lay back and let that paper come to him, and that's what them big heavy loads do. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I like the 8-bag because it looks cool, but nobody wants to buy 8 bags, dude. And then those, Marlo's suspension is the steel brackets, which are not very strong. The big heavy aluminum ones are the ones that are strong. And so Marlo's suspension's not great. It don't ride great. And it's just too short. We tried measurements and tried to figure out maybe put some shorter tanks on there and slap an axle in there. Did I just say the F word out loud? Dang. Slap a axle in there. But there's just not enough room. It's kind of an interesting way of looking at a turbo. I'm not going to say you're not right, though. KTA, Kelly, we had a little KTA discussion earlier. I want one. I'm just not paying $25,000 for a wore out one. I don't know. Someday I will stumble upon a V12 Detroit cab over and I'll get it. And I'll stumble upon a KTA 600 cab over and I'll get it. And I'll stumble upon a 3408 something, probably 359, and I'll get it. But until, I got to recoup, man. I gotta recoup. This channel got to get better. I got to do better. I got to make better videos. We got to do better production, and we got to get over that 100,000, and we got to start getting 50, 60,000 views for a video. I make less than $1,000 a month off this channel. And for 5 years, that's horrible. I should be making 20,000 a month by now. But I take the blame. My production's not good. I don't have fancy music that's made for me. I don't have a full-time camera guy and editor. I got to do all that stuff while I'm out here flying, half fatigued and forgetting to, upload and stuff. So I take credit for it, but it'd be super cool if we get it up there. We could have some really cool stuff. There's a couple, I think, Kelly, there's a couple guys on Marketplace that have KTAs around. I think I might have even seen the generators. I know, Sean, but it's just one of my things. I just don't do it. You talk to me in person, that word is part of my vocabulary, but there's just a place for it, and some people get offended by it, and it's just easy not to do it. It's like drinking. I don't drink. I bought a 12-pack of High Lifes because Chad was coming to town, and then his plans changed. And I think that was months ago. I still have a 6-pack of the 12. I just don't drink. It's not that I don't like to drink. There's just a place for it, All right, David, we'll see you, brother. Take it easy, man. Yeah. Send me some more pics. Have I ever had any experience with a 671? Yeah, I used to run a John Deere scraper earth mover. It had a 671 in it. What else do we have? So the first time I ever saw somebody use a drill to try and get rusty ass valves seated in the seat enough to make enough compression to run was a 671 Detroit. Man, what was his name? I want to say his name was Daryl. And I think it was Daryl. I worked for this guy, Gordy Morris Excavating. And I was just a punk mechanic, truck driver, equipment operator, just a punk, still just wet behind the ears. You know what I mean? Just a punk, but I was pretty decent mechanic. And I think his name was Daryl. He had this great big guy who was huge, like a giant. And he would come and do like big heavy stuff. I'd be out running a truck. He'd be rebuilding an engine. We had this 671. What was it in? It was in a piece of equipment. It had been sitting for a while, and they were trying to get it running. And old Daryl came over and pops the valve springs off and chucked up the valve in a drill and was, oiling her down and drilling her and pulling it up into the seat. Never did get that thing running, but man, what a great big dude that guy was. Anyways, yeah, I got some 671 experience. We're going to do some 71 stuff. That dump truck over at the ranch got a 471 in it. and we're going to will it start on that dump truck. That might end up being my dump truck. But yeah, I got a little experience with 71s. My Brigadier had 8 V71, the famous 318. Got a lot of time in that thing. I've seen one 1693 in my life, and it was at actually it's a shop near my place, and I was in there trying to get, I don't know, some bracket or something, and I was like, "Oh, what's this? That's a cat." It's like, 1693. I'm like, "How much?" He's like, "No, not for sale." He goes, "I'm going to build that and put it in a truck someday." That's the only experience I have with 1693. What's up? What's up, Demon? How's it going, brother? Yeah, I hope so, Sean. That'd be super cool. I used to start my 318 backwards all the time. There was this super steep but short hill going into the gravel pit, and we'd come up into the pit, and it would bog down until it was almost stalled, and you would quickly clutch, and the truck would slightly. I mean, the thing was only going like a mile an hour, and you just tap the clutch to get it out of gear, and sometimes it would be at the exact same moment that it would stall, and the truck would roll back before you could get your foot on the clutch, and the engine would start in reverse, and it actually would rev up a little bit, and it sounded fine, but if you looked at no oil pressure, so you knew it was running backwards. But it used to happen all the time, maybe 3-4 times a week. What's up, Big Paul? How's it going, brother? I came out to work with a beard. I might have to shave it off before I go fly tomorrow. What else we got? Been an hour 52, working up on the 2 hours. Hey, let's everybody go to jamespretty.shop and buy up a bunch of these check engine shirts. Listen, there's something special about this check engine shirt. It's my favorite shirt. I have this one and my original one that's all cracked up and haggard. But this is like my thing. This should have been like the logo for the channel, because my check engine light is always on. Um, but anyways, you guys should go and pick up a shirt or two. The 92 is kind of quiet compared to the 71. My Brigadier had straight pipes, no jakes, but had straight pipes, and that's why I'm deaf today. That truck was horrible loud. It didn't help that the Brigadier's got a short cab, right, and the exhaust was just like right above the cab. Man, I can still feel my ears ringing after a day of hauling gravel in that thing. Oh yeah, Sean. I tell people about the Detroits, the old Detroits 2 strokes. They're great nostalgia motor. Same with the KTA 3408. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything bad about them. They were badass in the day. Um, but compared to modern stuff, you ain't getting no 7.5 miles a gallon. Excuse me. I'm one of those old things. Still cool to have. I wouldn't mind having one. Yeah, Keith, mine too. I got so many lights on in the dash on the Trailblazer that I don't even. Sometimes I think I haven't started it yet because all the lights are on. Man, that thing is whooped. Anybody, you guys want to buy that Trailblazer Super Sport I drive? Man, I should sell that thing. It needs a water pump, coolant flush, thermostat change to like some 180s. It's got that electronically controlled mechanical cooling fan. That thing's Zoasted. It has at least one bad wheel bearing because the analog stability control, traction control lights all came on. So usually that's a bad wheel bearing. But it runs great, and 400 horsepower thing. It's smoked to hides. But I've been using it as a farm truck for a few years now, and it just needs to be. I need a pickup. And I need to get rid of that Trailblazer. Bad. Yeah, Sean, my personal check engine light been on for about 2 years. Excuse me, sorry. So Jonathan, it's funny you said that, because there's a NTC 475 twin turbo in that 362 Peterbilt, that special edition brown one that's over at the ranch. I'm going to try and get that. It's got a broken crankshaft, and it's probably tied up, but I'm going to try and get that thing. And I already sold my crank. I had a crank for it, but I already sold it. So I'll probably buy that, and then take one of the other. JP's got a ton of Cummins motors. I'll probably dig a crankshaft out of one of them other blocks and get it polished up and rebuild that motor. Probably won't be twin turbo right off the bat, but I might make some kind of compound turbo deal. We'll have to see. Yeah, nice, Kelly. How much for the Trailblazer? I don't know, like 7 or 8 grand or something. It's really a cool truck. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Trailblazer Super Sport, but it's got a LS2 in it. I want to say it's 405 horsepower from the factory. Is it 405 or is it 385? I can't remember. It's either 385 or 485 from the factory. It's got the thing comes with a 4L70E. Now, you talk to some transmission people, they tell you there's no such thing, but there is. But what it has in it right now is a 4L65. And everybody in my town said, oh, that transmission is never going to make it, because I had this local guy build it, and they're like, oh, you should have never taken it there. I have beat that truck like a rented mule for 5.5 years with that transmission in there, and it still ripped the tires in a second. It's a good truck. Yeah. Yeah, those Detroits will keep your ears ringing for the rest of your life for sure. Like, sometimes my wife's like, can you hear that? I'm like, the ringing in my ears is louder than your voice. I can't hear anything. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I hear that. Well, guys, it's been 2 hours. Maybe we should log off. I think I'll go to bed early tonight. It's 9:30. So my normal routine when I'm here in Florence, Covington, is I go to sleep about 9:30, and then I wake up at 5, and I get my stuff around. I go down to breakfast. All right, after I eat breakfast, I go to the lounge and I drink coffee for an hour, and then I come up to my room and I think about what I'm going to eat for lunch. Tomorrow I got to study, because I haven't opened the books in a month, so I got to study airplane stuff, company stuff, procedural stuff. I got to catch up. In the airlines, you have to stay current with the company manuals, and that happens electronically. And then you have to go in and read all the updates of the manual, and then click that you read them, and then copy and paste the code, and then it's called compliance. And so I have to do a bunch of compliance stuff tomorrow. I got 5 videos to edit, and upload, some for both channels. I have to call the engine builder, check on our progress of the machine shop. I have to call somebody else. It's super important. I have to call JCB, and I have to order an ignition switch for Charlie Bucket, the new backhoe, and I have to order cylinder rebuild kits for every cylinder on there. And then I need to study flows and procedures. And then tomorrow, not tomorrow because it'll be after midnight, but I think I have to leave at 3 a.m. tomorrow night, which is Tuesday morning, for Japan. So that's my plans for the next couple of days. What are you guys doing? All right, let me roll through these lists here real quick. Transtars are pretty cool. A little older than my taste, I think, but they're pretty cool. What's up, Freeman? Doing a colonoscopy tomorrow? Man, you're lucky. I am so way past due for that. Jeez. Yep. If you're over 40, get the big rope done. Can save your life. Watching videos tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, working on the 86, huh? Raymond, the views went down long ago, 2 years ago. Actually, it kind of coincided. I did my first. I got an invitation from YouTube to promote some videos, and I paid and promoted some videos, and they were supposed to get like an extra 2,000 views or something. It was just to like kind of promote a couple of videos, and I ended up making like 10,000 subscribers off of this month-long series of promotions. And then I think they nerfed my account because of it. Because it happened, it kind of coincided with that. And it's been a couple of years. I thought I'd be out of the penalty box by now, but actually I think it's self-inflicted. I think I stopped having fun working on the trucks, and I think people noticed. But I'm having fun. I'm having fun at the ranch, and I'm having fun on the trucks, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with Will It Starts and some other stuff. So hopefully, maybe my attitude will change, and then we can pick back up. That'd be super cool. So I think you have to enjoy doing YouTube. And when I had 13 trucks, YouTube was more like a fourth and fifth job. So I think that's all it was. Got a crane appointment. Nice. Minnesota. And Seth's going to be hauling some LP. Billy's going to haul some grain. Nice. Yeah, I don't blame you, Sean. I say that all the time. I don't want to know. But really, you can stop it from happening. The colonoscopy it's a horrible event, and I hate it. But it can save your life. But anyways, guys, 2 hours. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and just bullshitting and talking about cool stuff. And hope everybody has a great night and a good day tomorrow. Don't forget to go to jamespretty.shop, buy you up some t-shirts. If we just sell like 115,000 t-shirts in the next 2 days, we buy a hell of a lot of cool truck stuff. Anyways, we'll see you guys. No Scanias. See ya.